Hey guys, I am live. Awesome. Kia ora whānau, and for all the friends and peeps jumping on to Facebook and when I load it up to YouTube, howdy doody. So I'm going to get started straight away, going to get straight into it. It's actually quite exciting accepting this 30-day challenge of live Facebook Lives. I thought I'd be not that excited, but it's pretty cool. I actually do like it. Yes, it's only day 3, but I'm all good. If you have any comments, I'll read them at the end, but I just wanted to just get on with it, because I find reading comments quite distracting. So today, a friend of mine sent me a message. So if you haven't read it, basically, so she channels and she gets messages, and she had a really important appointment to get to, and as she was doing her makeup, she got a message from me. So I'll read it. It says, "You create it all. You do not need to rely on anyone for your money, love, fulfillment, or anything else you seek outside. Your worthiness resides in you. That is your beacon, shining the way for everything you desire to come towards you. Create the new you. It is waiting. Step into the light." So, that's pretty cool, hey? So whatever your flavor, whether you get into the whole spiritual side of it, or you like an energetic connection, which is again still spiritual, but you might like an intellectual connection. Whatever your connection is with your friends, as long as it's real. And I was going through something, and she messaged that to me. I did tell her to tell her employer that, look, Source had a message. I had to download it, so that's why I'm late. I'm on my way. So the reason I'm sharing with you is because I get told quite often that I'm fun to be around. When I have a conversation with whoever I'm with, it's a deep, real conversation, or whatever someone's experience is when they're with me. And I wanted to share with you what happens behind the scenes. So it's just not all me. I do have an inner circle, and I wanted to share with people how I created that, and that it was me that created that. So first of all, that would be to take ownership of that. And so if you are in a spot where you believe you don't have any really good friends you can rely on or that you can trust. So what I mean by trust is I've heard people say they've had friends and they've told them some of their deepest, darkest hurts or whatever troubles them, and their trust has been betrayed and has been talked to others, or something like that. And so that brings up trust for that person, and they think that they can't have real friends because of their past experience. And so with anything I do in life, if I have an experience like that, and I have had that, I look within. And I'm not taking full responsibility, but I am taking some responsibility as what in me that I attracted that person and brought them in, or what did I choose to be blind at, and all that kind of stuff as well. But if you are in a spot now and you believe that you keep telling yourself that I don't have any friends, or I am whatever I am, finish the sentence off here, you're basically setting yourself up for failure, because you're taking ownership of that's the kind of person that you are. So you could just change it now to say that, even if you don't believe it, but just say something that feels a little bit right to you. It's baby steps. So for me, I would say I am joyous to be around. I am a friend that offers even exchange of energy. I am a friend that does connect. So whatever is true for you, just start saying that to yourself, because remember, it's our internal chatter. And how I explain my inner circle is, for those who don't know me, so I am from New Zealand, but I am Māori. My heritage is Māori. And we have the big overarching thing is our tribe. So there's all different tribes that we belong to, which obviously is to do with the land that we come from. But then a smaller part of that is our iwi, and our iwi can be either from our mother's side or our father's side. And so you've got your tribe, or as in Aboriginals or Vikings would be clans. White people would be like a bloodline. So whatever yours is, that's the overarching, that's the big universe, I guess I could say. But then the iwi is something smaller. It's from, your mum's side or your father's side. And that even there can go smaller. and you would create your own iwi or your own inner tribe or your inner family or your inner friends. And I would recommend having 3 to 7 because if you have those, the more you have in that inner circle, the more you'll have to give as well. So remember, it's an even exchange of energy. So if you have 3 to 7 people in your inner circle and you ask for help, then in exchange you give it. And obviously it is, you don't give for expectations back, but that's just how true friendships work and true family works. That's just how it is. It's the law. And so, for instance, if you were on a date and you're getting to know that guy or girl, and all they did was talk about themselves, you would be totally turned off. That would be the last date that you would be on, because you would think, well, is he or she going to ask me about what lights me up, or are we just going to spend the whole conversation talking about that other person? So that's the same with friends, is what energy exchange can you do for your friends? So that's probably one point. The next one is the kind of friends that I have in my inner circle, because we attract the type of people that we are. And so if you have friends, and this may sting a bit, but it's all about taking responsibility. But if you're having friends that are betraying your trust or not giving 100% or taking 100%, I should say, then you have to look at yourself and see in what other areas of your life are you doing it to, because it'll play out until you stop doing that. So have a look at that. But we always are attracted to people when we meet a potential lover or a friend or even family or cousins. We always connect with people that have similarities to us. So, or something that we can sort of, connect with. So within my inner circle, I have different kind of friends, and we are all friends. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yep, we are, sort of. There's a couple there that don't really know the other ones, but all good. So I was just checking. So one of my friends is like a spiritual, like she's on this whole different level, very grounded and has a very strong sense of self. But is also very, connected. And so together, her and I do lots of, we've both got shaman drums, actually. Oh, yeah, that way. That's my shaman drum. So together we do, like when we want to shift, some people dance, which I do too, but with this particular friend, we bring out our drums and we do toning. So toning is the voice, the oming sounds and all the different sounds that come out of your throat. But that's a way how we clear our shit and how we just have fun together and sometimes pull cards or just whatever. But that's our fun times. And then, although I share all this other stuff with my friends, this particular friend is something that I do quite often with her. And she's my coffee friend as well. Another friend, we've got similar connections in how we talk very, very openly about our sex lives and what's working and what's not working. And we talk deeply about all the cray stuff, and we just laugh our ass off about it. So that's the kind of friend that I have there. And also she comes from a place where in the workplace it's all about integrity, and so we have this even exchange of conversations about when stuff doesn't work. She would be my go-to person in that aspect. And then I've got another friend who's very much a business brain and mind. Actually, I've probably got 3 like that. And so we're just forever just sort of using each other as a, sounding board, I should say. And we have that, again, even exchange. And there's one that's also a business mentor, but she's also we're both Māori too. And so we talk openly about, childhood and sometimes our hurts and our woundings from childhood, because it is very similar because of our culture. So we have that kind of even exchange. So whatever it is for you, it's just, well, how can I give and be there for my friend? And also with your inner circle, you'll just feel into them and you'll know when something's not quite right, and you'll flick them a message and you go, hey, I was thinking of you, like, are you all good today? And vice versa. So they always know how to check in, and that's why the group kind of needs to be small, because there's no way in hell that you can energetically and have the energy to sort of, massage and nurture that group. The big thing I would like to share too is when you want to nurture that relationship is also asking the right questions. So I have friends that, though part of the inner circle, that will call me and just say, hey, Patty, what's your spider senses saying? Or what do you feel about this? But so ask the right question. So, you know, like they have a big story and I interrupt them. I'm like, what are you asking? What is it that you actually want to know? I don't need story. It's just like, what do you need to know? Because by the time they ask the question, they've already answered it themselves because they get very clear on what they need to know. So, yeah, those are my tips when it comes to sort of attracting, you know, your inner circle and your friends. And also be mindful of the energy that you put out and also that you receive. So I was reading in this book by Marcus Aubrey, Marcus, Live for the Day or something like that. I can't remember the name of the book. Actually, yes, I can. It's in here. I have a look at my Audible. But it's basically, I'll tell you this book first before I move on. Own the day, own your life. Optimize practices for waking, working, learning, eating, training, playing, sleeping, and sex. So Audrey Marcus. So in the book, he's actually talked about how, what are you like? Are you, with your energy, are you hygienically clean? So, you know, when you, see those people and they're like the snuffleupagus of the place. Is it a place called Sesame Street? He's like, oh, he's depressed. He's just like, hey, and his shoulders like this, and you go. I mean, there's heaps of people out there, and I'm not saying that you have to be 100% high as a kite all the time, but if that's just how you roll, if that's how you get out of bed, and if that's how you approach people, like, I couldn't really have you as a friend because it's my job, my energy would be like trying to prop you up 24/7, and that's not what life's all about. But even if you're going through tough times, it's okay to be sad, but it's like you're not dumping on people. And what we do in our inner circle is we ask permission. So we'd start off by saying, hey, I've just trying to work something out. I'm just trying to get through something. Can you help me sort of get to the bottom of it? So then that person would say, my friend would say, yeah, not right now, or can I call you in half an hour? Or so you're actually asking permission. Whereas most people that I've seen and have witnessed, they just will like dump their shit, or they'll like have a huge huff. Or if you go, hey, and they go, hey, and then they just will tell you their whole shitty day. And it's like, for what purpose? Like, what did you share that with me for? What am I supposed to do? Sprinkle magical dust all over your ass? Like, seriously. So I think we have to be very mindful of how we affect people. And the biggest thing that I would leave you with in this live video is whether you're going on a date or whether you have a sexual partner, or, you know, your family or your children. And for this particular video for your friends, is how will they feel when you leave them for the day? Like, do they feel lit up? Do they feel their cup is even, you know, more full? Even though it's our responsibility to fill up our own cup, but how will our friends be after spending 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or just meeting us? And that's what we have to be very mindful of, is when we're hanging out with people, you know, just that. And on a funny note, I remember inviting, well, not funny, well, I found it funny. One of my friends, she's like, you'll feel her coming. Like, I laugh because when I see her coming to meet me, she's like, I always tease her that she's walking with a whole bunch of angels or a whole bunch of peeps, even though there's her, because that's the kind of energy. Like, if you ever met this woman, she just like brings it. She's like all kinds of powerhouse. And I invited her to an event I was hosting, and she wrote me this message about half an hour before it started. She goes, I'm not coming. I will, what did she say? She goes, I'm not in the right, align the lungs of, I'm not in the right headspace. I will fuck shit up. So she was being very mindful of, she's not in the right space. She doesn't want to spread it to everyone. It was best that she stayed home. And I just thought, see, there's someone that takes responsibility. You know, you're not going to, you know, be an energy, you know that you may be an energy vampire, so you choose to stay home. So I'm just going to see if you've got any questions, and if not, I'm going to sign off because I think that is it. Yes, that's it. So I hope you have an amazing day, and it's my son's birthday. They're getting back from the beach soon, so I'm getting my ass in the kitchen and whipping up some beautiful kai. So have a beautiful evening, peeps, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.